Hello, I'm Janna, and welcome back to the Crafty Corner. This is day 12 of Craftmas. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this holiday making series. Today, we're going to see how many cards we can make in 1 hour. So today's all about card making. I've got lots of bits and pieces left over from other projects and tons of backgrounds to play with. So let's dive right in, grab our supplies, and please play along. Use what's on your desk. Let's make some cards. All right, let's head over to the Crafty Corner. Today is going to be so much fun. We're going to be launching into our card making extravaganza. It was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, glitter was flying. Thankfully, no mouse. All right, let's dive right in. I've been collecting bits and pieces all year round, and from the last couple of months we've been making all sorts of things, backgrounds and embellishments, and we've got all the things that we need in this bin to make Christmas cards. So we're going to be setting a timer for an hour, and we're going to see how many cards we can make in that time. I'm going to be doing a combination of large cards and mini cards. Okay, let's get started. First things first, we're going to do a very quick sort. So I've got sticker books with sentiments ready to go. Those are in one pile. I've got more sentiments right here. I have got card bases for mini cards. We've got background layers. Let's put all our backgrounds right here, and then we can sort out embellishments. Okay, we've got a good handful of embellishments. Let's place those right there. So right now is just the very quick process of sorting things out. I've got all sorts of backgrounds. These can be chopped and redone. Okay, lots and lots of stuff. More embellishments. That's too chunky. Oh, we've got these. Those will be cute. More little pieces. Oh, these are kind of intermediate layers. Layers can go there. Backgrounds over here, layers there. All right, we've got so many good things to work with, and I've got lots of Idea-ology off to the side as well that we'll be able to pull in to do mini collages and to add to our backgrounds. Oh, so many backgrounds. We've done alcohol ink, we've done distress ink and oxide sprays and spritz. We have a little bit of everything, and we are so good to go. All right, now we're getting down into all of the little embellishment goodies. That's going to make our job so much easier when we're putting things together. Having little parts and pieces ready to go makes card making so much easier. I've even got some sentiments. Wow, I was thinking ahead. That is good news for us. Okay, basket's empty. Let's go. All right, so first things first, this one right here is pretty much already a card. What I need is a background for it. We're going to go for one of the distressed Tim Holtz black cardstock. I've got my mini trimmer here. Just need to do a very light trim on this, and we have already got a card. Cards don't have to be overly fancy. They can just be a main focal point and a lovely sentiment. And having the tonic trimmer off to the side is super, super helpful. I've got my ATG all ready to go. We're loaded. Let's go ahead and stick this down, and then we just need a sentiment, and bam, that's already one card done. And I'd estimate that took us maybe a whole minute to compose. And that's why I love compartmental making and being able to work ahead of time to get my ideas down. That way, when I'm in the mood to make the cards, things just flow. Honestly, the longest thing is going to be lining this up. All right, there we go. Now I need a sentiment. All right, so now for a sentiment. Perfect. Got one right on top. Happy Holidays works beautifully. And I'm just going to grab a little bit of collage medium, and we can use that to attach it. Doesn't take a lot, just a little bit, and there we go. card number 1, all done. Set that off to the side. Moving right along. You know what? I like that background. It's cute. Let's see what we have. Ooh, I've got a little deer. I've got some trees. So I just need something to anchor this, and we'll be in good shape. Ooh, I like that. That's really cute. Maybe if I just add... Ooh, we've got a little tree. Can add a little tree there. Snowflake up in the corner. Not bad. Okay, I think just that is going to work nicely. Now, what I do want are some foam squares. There we go. Got a whole stash right here. I'm going to take that, flip that over, and add those. Good. And then we can glue down the little embellishments. Cards don't take a whole lot, and we've already had that layer altered. We've already done our background, which looks like it was done with some pearlescent crayon and some inking. All right, can stick that right here. Now I can go in with the glue and add those 2 little embellishments. Great. And a snowflake. Very, very pretty. And I think we'll add a little sentiment across the bottom. Perfect. Christmas wishes. All right. Another card down. Cute. Now I want to do something with this really cool deer, and I think we can put him on this, then maybe a little bit of holly behind him. Ooh, I like that. That's cute. I could do one of these off to the side. Okay. Right there, I think I've got something. And I want one more little bit of holly. Okay, right there, another idea. And we'll just take that. I'm estimating about here. Good. Now we just need some glue. Take that and that. More glue. Okay, a bit more glue to make sure that he sticks down, and then I'll be able to sneak in the other bits and pieces. Okay, so we'll take the little bit of holly next. Very pretty. Okay, and we'll slip in this lovely poinsettia. You can go right here. And I want one more little piece of holly. I love those little pieces. So fun. Okay, great. Just holding that for a second. Now I need a background for him to rest on. Ooh, I think I've got a good one over here. Which one do we want? That's not bad. Let's see how this looks. Not that one. Ooh. There we go. I like that. That's fun, but it needs a little bit extra going around. So I think I want a metallic layer in between. I think I've got something. Yes, I do. Perfect. We'll just take that. Mark that off. Right about here. I can grab the metallic trimmer. Take that, chop. Good. And I'll get the ATG tape. turn. All right, we are doing great. And that can get popped right down here. Okay. Very lovely. I'm really liking how that one's turning out. And more tape. Then we'll just need a sentiment, and we are on a roll. Good. I think I'll go with a sticker sentiment this time. Ooh. That is really, really pretty. I had no idea what I was going to do with this particular background. It was giving me a little bit of a hard time. It was definitely one of my more unique ones, but that really, really works. Okay, sticker time. I want a red sticker to go across the top. Let's see. Season's greetings, hearts are filled with cheer, dashing through the snow. Full of good tidings. That deer is full of good tidings. I like it. All right. Excellent. Moving right along. All right, I want to do something wintry. I love the tree. I've got a few bottle brush trees that we could add. There we go. Ooh, it's going to be pretty. And I want some deer. Okay. Not bad. Oh, I could put that 24 up in the corner. But that's going to require plenty of glitter. All right. So I'll start with that 24. Put that here. Good. Okay, I think I want to do foam for the tree. I'm going to give that just a little bit of lift. Good, good, good. Take those tabs off the back. Okay, I can stick that down. I can go here. And you know what? Let's do foam for the trees as well, for the bottle brush. Why not? Makes it easier. All right. Bottle brush tree. Let's put that one here. Okay, now I want to go in with some chunky snow. And that means we're going to need to scribble down plenty of glue. I am loving that chunky glitter so much, but you know what? I don't just want chunky, I want some of the mica snowflakes. Let's get the best of both worlds. Okay. Snow is down. That looks good. I've got some scrap paper. I'm going to do a very small sprinkling of the chunky stuff first, and then I want these snowflakes. So just a little bit here and there. Lovely. I am so excited that we've got so many wonderfully sparkly things to choose from now. The chunky glitter was a lovely surprise this year, and the snowflake mica has been absolutely magical. Okay, we've got a nice little snowy landscape. Dump the rest of this right back into the jar. Good. Oh, I just saw the next card that I want to do. Okay, great. I've got that, and now I want a few small foams for the deer, because they are not going to want to get glued down. I can tell that right away. That's okay. We have got options, which is wonderful. Okay, we'll take this deer. He can go here. And then we got another one that can take up some space right here. Okay. Very, very pretty. So we're going to need a sentiment. Okay. Let's see here. Song of Christmas Cheer. Christmas was at hand. On Frosty Hills. Wonder of Wonders. Let's go with that. Sticker and sticker. All right. That's a nice little scene. Very pretty. Okay. So this was just absolutely jumping out at me. Need to do something with that. It's really, really good on its own, but it does need another layer to it. So I wanted to bring this in. I just need to take a little bit off the top, and I've got a border. This one doesn't require a whole lot at all. The deer is just perfect, and the starry background. Sometimes cards don't have to be fancy with multiple layers. Sometimes they can just be very, very simple, and this one is calling for simplicity. Okay, so that goes there. All right, and I'm going to want more foam squares for this. There we go, foam and foam. Okay, that is good. A little one for the head. So all I'm going to need is a sentiment, and this card is going to be done. Doesn't need a whole lot, which I really like. And really, this is just so, so pretty. Okay, just like that, and now I need a sentiment. But the question is, what sentiment will work? Okay, I think I'll need to go for one in the sticker book. Let's see here. In the air, there's a feeling of Christmas, or, you know what, out for the holiday just looks fun. And this deer certainly is out for the holiday. There we go. Nothing fancy, but darn, that background is gorgeous. Okay, moving right along. I want to do something with my very large poinsettia. The question is, what are we going to mount that on? Oh, you know what? No, that's not going to work. So many pieces. Ooh, we've got this one. I like that quite a bit. I don't even think that needs much extra. Or, what could I do with that? I want to do something, but I'm not quite sure what. Oh, it looks good on this too. Kind of want to have a solid or something in the background, but I'm not quite sure. Or maybe we could just do a golden backdrop like that. You know, I think that's going to work the best. Okay, so let's go ahead. We'll take this and chop it down a bit. All right, let's see how that is. The top part needs a little bit more off. Okay, that'll work. Let's grab our tape. Good. Excellent. And we'll just slide that over a little bit. Oh, something is a little wonky. Just have to lift, set in place. Okay, that is better. And this, I think, will go with some glue. Okay, that works. And this time I want a red sticker. Let's see what we have. Okay, A Wonderful Christmas Time. There we go. It's one of the larger ones, but I think that works. And I do need to give that a quick little trim. That is just a bit too far off the edge. Okay, and the other side. Okay, there we go. Lovely. Okay, continuing on. Okay, I really like this background, but I'm not quite sure what to place on it. Let's see. Oh, the sled is fun. So I could do a little bit of collage. Let's see here. I need some Idea-ology pieces. Need something kind of in the middle. Ooh, that's good. Like that. That is pretty. And what could go with it? I need a little something to go with it. But what? Oh, cheer. Doesn't have to be a lot. It can just be that. And I want to do the edges in a bowl, I'm thinking, and I can do that with some distress paint. Okay, good. And I do want to pop the sled up. The sled would look good popped up. Okay. And I've got my foams all ready. Okay. And I just need to grab a little bit of distress paint, tarnished brass. We can edge this card, and then it will be done. Again, it doesn't have to be overly complicated, and with all of these things that we've had at the ready, this card did not take that long to make, which works out really well when we're trying to make lots and lots of cards. All right, distress paint, a little bit off to the side. I'm just going to grab a paintbrush. Good. And let's add a little bit of a border to this. Doesn't need to be neat, just want a golden border. Okay. It's just the little finishing touches that really add that extra bit to a project. And in this case, adding a border is giving it a whole nother look. Okay, turn. All right, we are really doing good. We are zipping right along, and that is already 5 cards done. So card making doesn't have to be a whole panic session. It can be fun and spontaneous, and if you're making parts and pieces all through the year, then come crunch time when you really need stuff, it's all there, ready and waiting for you. All right, done. Set that down. All right, moving right along. I really want to do something with this. I'm just not sure what. Well, first things first, let's try chopping some of that down so that I can have a good foundation to work with. Okay, so we've got that. Now I just need a background. Oh, here we go, to settle it on. That will work. All right, I'm going to have to do large forms for this one. Okay. Still not quite sure what I want to do, but I want to do something with it. It's really cool. maybe a paper doll. I can definitely grab one, and that will be a good place to start. Ooh, I've also got a Santa Claus. That could look really good too. You know what? Every year I do try to do one Santa Claus themed card. This is going to be it. All right. And I see one that I already altered. Even better. Okay. Bam. Not bad. Needs a little bit more though. Oh, I've got some sticker strips in here. There's one that would probably be really, really good. Let's see. I know there are like some... Yes, here we are. Ooh, let's add the peppermint stripe. There we go. And that just made this so much better. Okay, bend over, over. I'm going to flip that. Okay. That is great. Just try to make sure that stays stuck. All right. Let's go ahead, add some glue. Wonderful. That is really, really cheery. It's cute. All right, now I need a classic Merry Christmas sentiment, and I think we'll do that in green. Wonderful Christmas time. All right, come on, I wanna, there we go. Actually, you know what? Always believe would be even better. Okay. Let's put that right across. Does that work? It works. Okay. There we go. A little bit of Christmas magic right there. That is definitely one of the better Santa Clauses. I love that. And it looks like he's just moving right along. Cool. Okay, next. What have we got? There's just so many good pieces. It's hard to choose what you want to do. Ooh, we've got bells. So many ideas. Okay. I really want to do something with the cardinal. The cardinal definitely speaks to me, and I wanted to do something with one of these street lights. There we go. Ooh, this could be really interesting. All right, this needs to be trimmed down pretty quickly. Let's see what we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/2. All right, grabbing that, grabbing this, quick chop, and another chop to the other side. Okay, so I really want to do something with that. Okay, so we have that. Ooh, do want to put something behind this. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to quickly add a little bit of glue. I don't know if I'll use this in this particular card, but I want that lantern ready, and just that little bit of craft stock is going to give this a little bit more interest. Okay, there we go. I'm going to have to set that off to the side. We'll let that dry. Now, right here, I was thinking about doing something with the cardinal. I really like that. That's pretty. Could put the cardinal right on here. And I want to do something else. Oh, we've got some... Okay. Got some interesting little flourishes going. Interesting. Oh, there's another flourish. Okay, I really like the flourishes, but I want a different bit of greenery. Got all sorts of greens over here. Let's see here. What have we got? Ooh. Let's see. Ooh, this is really good. Could do that. And oh, that's really good. Let's try these. So just rummaging right now, trying to get the right pieces. There we go. Alright, so if we did that, we could take the cardinal, tuck it here, and then I just need a little something to anchor in the background. But the question is, what would make a good anchor piece? Oh, I just had a whole bunch of little things here. Okay, so I think I've got an idea. I'm going to use this as the main focal point, and you can use that as an anchor. All right, let's put this right here. Then we can take the cardinal and stick it down after I've added this little bit of holly. There we go. So this is on foam back, which makes things just a little bit easier. Okay, and we'll kind of just tuck that right here. The 25 is still going to be nice and visible and doubles as our sentiment. And then I can take the last bit of holly and place that right about here. Okay, so I'm liking that quite a bit. The next thing that I need to do will be to trim off the edges, and we're going to do a washi tape border. But first I want to get rid of those little extra greenery bits. Just turning and rotating, doing a very quick snip. Very good, and last side. Okay, that washi tape border is definitely going to cost me. It's going to take me at least a minute to get onto here, but I think it's going to be worth it, and it's going to look really nice. Okay, so tape. You know, I might be able to knock off a little bit of time if I use collage medium instead of the ATG. Let's try that. All right, that's side one. Good. I preferred the ATG because it's a little bit cleaner. Oh, I think I'll have to do on two sides. And it also helps me stick down problem spots. Sort of. Okay. Alright, we're gonna have to do a hybrid. And turn. Okay. Oh, there we go. Side two. I love adding washi tape. It's a quick way to add just a little bit extra to a card. It's a nice little embellishment, and I think framing a piece can definitely bring an entire thing together, even if it was kind of on the edge of being a little more chaotic. And this card was definitely aiming towards the side of chaos. We've got a really unique background that I just couldn't pass up, but then more classical colors on the interior of the card. But I think you can definitely mix and match, and depending on how your composition comes together, you can make almost anything work. And I think this is a really good example of making things work that maybe weren't intended to go together. But you know what? I like it. It's got all the Christmassy vibes. So it's a win for me. And the cardinal, in case you're wondering, came from the very first December die set. That was the collaboration between Tim Holtz, Sizzix, and Simon Says stamp. So, super happy. I get a chance to use them every year. Those December dies are pretty darn special. Okay. That comes out. There we go. All right. Last side. And then this one is almost done, except for, of course, we must have droplets. Absolute must on a washi tape border. Just adds that little bit of extra for me. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. And I want these in gold. All right, one more large gold. Excellent. And we'll just drop these right on here. Yeah, that little extra accent, I don't know why, it just makes me really happy. Okay, there we go. Another card complete. Next up, I am thinking I want to do something with this piece. I love those sparkly poinsettias. Oh, I think I want that to go on top of a plaid background. That would be pretty. And I really want to use this light. There we go. I like that. Then if I can just grab a paper doll, I think we'll be in really good shape. Alright, just need to check the measurements on this to make sure that it's a good size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, this is a bit big. 2, 3, 4, 5 plus a half. Then going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a quarter. So that just needs a quick little trim. Then that will be good. I think this will be the last full-size card that we're making. I think I'm going to switch to mini cards in just a moment. Okay. I love doing full-size cards, but mini cards are lots of fun too, and I do need to stock up on my mini size. There we go. That, add it here. There we go. All right, now for the lamp. This is one of the big dies finds that I scored off of eBay. Still super excited about it. It's a really cool one, and I love the vintagey look. Okay, was able to pull out a paper doll. This one should go quite nicely under that street light. And just take the little foam tabs off the back. Okay, let's add her in. Lovely. And the last thing we need is a sentiment. So let's see what we have. I'm thinking green. Let's go for Season's Greetings. Okay, grab the wrong one. Season's Greetings. Here we go. Let's see. I think going across here actually looks really good. Okay. Not bad. Alright, now we're kind of switching gears. I want to work with some smaller elements so we can make some mini Christmas cards. Alright, so I've got backgrounds. Ooh, that one's a really good one. I have to set that aside. And we're going to start chopping. So, I've got all sorts of things. Let's start with these. So I'm going for 2 3/4. All right. Well, if I go for 2.5, I can get 2 in this background. Let's try that. 2.5. Some of them will be 2.5, but most I'd love them to be 2 3/4. Okay, so I've got that. Now, let's see. This one is coming in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/4. So that could be 2.5 and a little bit. Okay, good. All right. 2 + 2 is 4. Yeah, I should be able to do it. 3/4. All right, good. So right now we're just chopping as many of these as we can, and then we can start adding elements to them to go onto card bases. All right, this one I'm only going to get 1 out of, but that's okay. Still big. This is another good one. Alright, and turn. Oh, that part I definitely want to save. Okay. Oh, I just remembered. That I absolutely have to do something with today. Okay. Let's see. What else have I got? Ooh, that's pretty. Uh-oh, that didn't quite cut the way I wanted it to. All right, we're going for 2.5. Okay, so far so good. And let's do that one. All right, we are good. All right, I want to do one more chop, and then we can start building. All right, so we are good. Now I just need to quickly put those scraps off to the side, and we can start making. So what I want to do, I'm going to line these up, and I think I'll try to do 4 at a time. There we go. And we're just going to start plopping down elements, and we get what we get. Okay, just like that, we already have some really good ideas. And I do want lots of foam. I think that's going to be the easiest way to attach these. And bonus, it will give us a little bit of lift. And once I have these done, then I'm thinking we'll go on to the next set of 4, and at the very end I will do a run of sentiments through here. Right now I'm just concerned with getting things onto the paper. And we've got so many lovely things to play with. Okay. And this is where the preparing ahead of time really comes into play, because if I hadn't done all of these little bits and pieces early on, then I wouldn't have them right now to be just doing a blitz of mini cards. So if you've got that time, if you're sitting in front of the TV, listening to an audiobook, that is the time to get those little bits and pieces made, and then you are going to be all set for the making season. Okay, let's see here. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's put that here. And there are just so many parts and pieces. All right, good. So many things to do. Okay, so far so good. Ooh, I'm going to want to add this little bit in. There, nice. And if I see little bits and pieces that I can add, I will add them in just because we can. This one makes sense to lay flat. Ooh, I want to add that in as well. Okay, it's really pretty. And this one also wants glue. All right, and another set of 4. Good to go. Let's keep on moving. We really are doing quite well. Ooh, like that. All right, we are moving along. Okay, more foam squares. Sometimes just even a Idea-ology element is just enough to make a little card pop. That's another reason I do all of those little alterations way ahead of time, so that I'll have things ready when it is time to start making. All right, trying to get these in here. Oh, we're really doing well. It's very streamlined. Like once you have stuff down and ready to go, it's very easy to just get in the groove and to simply make. And that's what I love. I love just making without having to think too hard about big decisions, like what backgrounds to use or what do I need to die cut in order to make something look good. If I have all those things done ahead of time, then it's just grab and stick. Okay. And we are doing really, really well in that department right now. All right, that one's good. Let's bring in these bells. I actually might need to cut more backgrounds. That is a great problem to have. That is lovely. Okay, now let's see here. What have I got? Ooh, I like that bird and the holly. That's pretty. What else? Ooh, I've got all of these pieces. Great. All sorts of stuff. Okay, still got lots and lots of little bits and pieces. All right, let's move these off to the side so I don't get them confused with anything else. Okay, just trying to make sure I've got all my bits and pieces ready to go. All right, we're going to need another background or two. Let's go with these. Those are good. And we could use that. And this. Okay. Let's take those, slice and dice. Alright, so I'm going for 2 3/3. This one's gonna have to be shorter. This will need to be 2 1/2. Alright, tell just looking at it. Good. 2 3/3 for this one. This one was a shifter, and we also were inking with Distress ink, then did a little bit of splatter on top of some Distress white heavy stock. Ooh, we've got a wood grain folder here. That's going to be really pretty. Wood grain is always fun. I think that one was done during one of the mini Tim Holtz demos. Alright. There we go. This one was a failed background, but as I said before, failed backgrounds are in the background, so not a big deal. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's try to go for 6 at a time. All right, bell. Oh, that's cute. Could do that. A little bit of this. Okay, I like that. Okay, let's see. This could go here along with that little tree. That works. Ooh, that one can go here. That works well on its own. And then that leaves me with a poinsettia. Okay, I think we're doing good. All right. Well, let's go ahead and glue these down. At least some of them will be glue, some will be the foam. All right, that one was nice and simple. Yep, this will be a glue. Great. Coming together nice and easy. Good. All right. That tree can go here. And I was thinking, let's do a second tree. And I can trim off the extra bits. Okay. All right, that's good. This one needs foam. Get a couple of those. All right. So I'll take that, stick it down. This one is nice and easy. And then over here, I think we'll go for glue and foam. Okay. So we've definitely been using a wide variety of ingredients today. We've got all sorts of backgrounds done with distress inks and oxides, and then I've got a fantastic stash of things that have been die cut and stamped. I love having choice while making. Very, very good thing. Ooh, I can go here, I can go there, coffee here. Let's add that with our coffee. Okay. And I've got some lovely greens. That's good. Oh, I was going to use that bird. Now I know what I'm doing with this one. That's easy. And bird there. Okay. Not bad at all. Ooh, I also want to just throw these in over here because we can. A little bit of green. A little bit of silver. And we've even got some alcohol inked backgrounds as well. So we've got a whole smorgasbord of crafty goodness, which is fantastic. And I'm definitely cutting through my stash of foam squares. So that's a good thing. All right. Let's stick that right here. That's cute. This one can really just go on its own. Okay, and two more. Good. So many small pieces. Honestly, I think I'm losing the most time fighting with the foam. Right, this one is just straight up glue. This one has to be mostly glue. I think I could do a foam dot on the bird though. Good. And put that there. And a foam for the bird. Good. Almost there. You know what? I want to use these wings just because. Okay, there we go. I do have one or two quick card ideas that I absolutely have to do, and then I think we'll be just about ready to wrap up and take a look at all the things that we have made today. And seriously, I can't resist this brick background. One of my favorite ones that I've made this year during a Tim Holtz live demo. I love how it came out, and I'm hoping to reproduce more of these brick walls at a later date, but I just couldn't pass it up. So, kind of going for a little bit of urban grunge here. Okay, got my washi tape, and couldn't resist, had to add one more Santa Claus to the mix. Okay, and just get these up. Quickly need a sentiment, and that turned out to be a really quick card. All right, I want green. Hearts are filled with wonder. Hope that fits. It does. Okay. And we'll just sneak him down just a little bit. Excellent. And give that a quick flip over just to trim off that little bit of overhang. Perfect. Another card done. All right. I also had this that I really want to add to something. Not that. Plaid. There we go. I think. No, not that. Uh-oh. I need something neutralish. That could work. Or, better yet, that. Okay. So, for this one, I'm going to go in with the ATG tape and glue. Okay, very pretty. So I've got a Idea-ology picture, and that's going to act as our center point. Okay. Forgotten about that really cool collage tag, and I just can't pass it up. It's too cool. But it's really busy, so it needs something simple in the center, and this is perfect. It fits the bill beautifully. And now we'll just need a little sentiment to go with it in green again. Let's go with It's a Wonderful Life. That fits really well. All right, that one is done. Okay, just a couple of last minute card thoughts. I have got two more that I absolutely have to make. So we have got backgrounds. I've got a distressed background and a stenciled background. can't pass these up. They are just too beautiful. And I also happen to have one last poinsettia that needs a home on a card. So there we go. Nice and easy, and we'll need to go for a red sentiment sticker to add to this. Oh, those sticky backs are the thing that gets me every time. All right, let's take that, flip, there we go, and a red sticker. For this one, let's go for Season's Greetings. Okay, and done. All right, last one that I needed to do something about. I love this background, very vintagey, and I've got a tag left over from the Tim Holtz Christmas in July Simon Says Stamp class. Have to use that. Doesn't need a whole lot. It just needs a background. Bam. Done and done. Okay, so I did miss a couple of mini cards. So I want to add those in right now. And we are just running out of time. All right, joy. And another joy. Thank goodness for those large sentiments. That certainly is making life just a little bit easier as we're putting the last finishing touches on our cards. Okay, these are mini cards. There we go. And I want to add the cute little ribbon, because why not? A little bit of extra festive cheer right there. Okay, and I wanted to add in just a little accent. There we go. And I also had a little holly branch. Let's tuck that over here. Okay, there we go. Now let's take a look at all the things that we have made today. Let's take a look at all of the cards that we have made today for the card making extravaganza. I've got a big stack of cards in my hand, so let's go through them and see what we have. And take a look. That is a lot of cards. We got big ones and small ones. So first of all, we have this lovely embossed poinsettia. This was done with some alcohol ink and some craft stock. Then moving right along, we have some Idea-ology alterations over a Simon Says Stamp background done in pearlescent distress crayon. Next up, we have got this lovely card done with Cool Yule, some stenciling from Stampers Anonymous, and a distressed background, and more Sizzix die cuts. Love that deer. Speaking of deer, here's a couple more, along with a discontinued Biggs Layered Pine die. And of course, we had to add plenty of snowflake mica over an alcohol inked backdrop. And what do you know? More deer. This is reindeer flight over an alcohol ink background. This was done with a monoprint with falling stars stencil over a metallic craft stock background. The deer just keep coming. And now switching over to a beautiful tattered poinsettia over a mixed media background, finished off with a sticker from Idea-ology. Love the embossing on that one. And here we have a cozy sled from the Simon Says Stamp set, Cozy Winter, and that was embellished over some Idea-ology parts and pieces. Then we move on to another alcohol ink background, and of course I had to include the very first ever December die cut. I love that cardinal, and I have to feature him every year on at least one card. He is super cute. Next, we have got a mixed media card over some sparkling craft stock featuring the Christmas lamp post. I love that. Another Biggs die, discontinued. So happy to have added it to my stash. And of course, a little play with a paper doll and a dash of twinkle texture paste. Next, we have got this really cool Santa Claus over a brick background. I am in love with that brick. That was done during one of the many Tim Holtz demos this year. The brickwork was definitely one of my favorite demos. And more poinsettias. Had to do that large tattered poinsettia again. More stenciling, this time with a bit of spritz and spray. So much fun. And this one is featuring a bit of Sizzix. We've got a wood grain embossed background, then a whole bit of Idea-ology, a bit of collage, and that beautiful black and white layered photo. That really jumps out on the collaged background. Really happy with that one. And had to include some of the watercolor stamps from the Christmas in July Tim Holtz class. That's one of the tags that I made during that class, and I placed it over a craft stock background inked with a bit of oxide ink. Now, of course, every year I have to do a couple of Santa Claus cards, and this Santa just makes me smile, and I had to place him over that really fun peppermint background. So many cards, and these are just the large ones. For the large cards, we have got 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. Not bad. We've been making cards for about an hour, and we have 14 full-size cards. Just look at that. Compartmental making for the win. Now on to the small cards. Starting off with a few poinsettias, we got some festive sketch, and this is a Stampers Anonymous set. This was from Stamptember a few years ago. Another poinsettia. Just love chopping up those backgrounds and making these little cards. That little bird is so adorable. That is from the Cozy Simon Says stamp set as well. And bottle bush trees. I stamped so many of them. Had to use them on the cards. Oh, and the classic ice skate with a alcohol inked background and a Sizzix impresslet. And that's the holly branch. And deer. The deer just keep coming. We're on a kick with deer this year. Love it. Next up, we've got another postage stamp. I edged almost all of the postage stamps with a little bit of gold foil. Now we've got some Idea-ology, a bell, and a little bit with shifters in the background. Classic wings. Love those over some wood grain. And there's that sled again. I love it. And some more backgrounds with some stenciling and bold Sizzix embellishments. I love those. Christmas circle words over a shifter background. So fun. And then more bottle brush trees. Gotta love a good bottle brush. So much fun. A little snow globe postage stamp, and as you can see, I used loads of stickers from the Christmas Idea-ology sticker book, and then finishing off with that lovely little wreath, and of course a candy cane over a poinsettia background. Why not? Very, very festive. So much fun. And we've got bells over distressed backgrounds. Big stack of wonderful cards. Let's see. Oh, more bells. Love those. So pretty. So many great selections from Idea-ology this year. I just love all the ephemera bits and pieces. Then we have more wood grain, more Christmas circle words. Lots of little things and some random stamping. I've got Noel, little bow over a mixed media background. And taking a look, what else do we have? We've also got another large joy and a beautiful embossed snowflake from a Sizzix impresslet. That is quite the collection of cards. So much fun. Now, just doing a quick recount here. It was 14 of the large cards, and for the little ones, we've got a count of 29 little cards. That's a whole lot of card making. I've had so much fun today creating all of these cards. And again, compartmental making. If you make a good stash of backgrounds in one day, then do all your stamping another day, have a die cut day or two, alter your Idea-ology parts and pieces, or just sort them, trying to figure out which ones you really want to use for this year's making season. No wrong way or right way to go about it. Just do something and make. And this is what you too could have in your card stash. Make the backgrounds, make the embellishments, then sit down, put on a good Christmas movie or some Christmas music or an audiobook or whatever is going to make you want to make, but make. Thank you so much for joining me here today at the Crafty Corner. And until next time, happy crafting.